Hello everyone, my name is Christina and I am here to talk about Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. I was 6 years old when the first episode ever aired on Nickelodeon, and I vaguely remember little me sitting on the couch and falling in love with all the characters and just thinking the show was just absolutely amazing. Hey Arnold recently came back into my life over the summer when I decided to relive my childhood and rewatch old Nicktoons and old cartoons that I used to watch back in the day. Hey Arnold was the one that I decided to watch first, and when I was watching the episodes, immediately just the child in me just came out, and I fell in love with it all over again. Rewatching this series today, you realize that there is so much more than meets the eye. And what I mean by that is just that basically the themes that each episode has to deal with, like number one, the relationship between Arnold and Helga, and two, the relationship between Arnold and his family, mainly his parents, his birth parents. It's something that you could just easily relate to, and you just automatically feel for that person. And especially with Helga's storyline, I could definitely relate to her, especially when I was younger, growing up as a kid and learning what love is and what having a crush feels like, and what crazy things you do when you do actually have a big of a crush on someone. I mean, half of the stuff that she did in the show I could never do, but writing in my diary about the person that I loved and maybe talking to a picture of him in some way, shape, or form, I did that when I was younger. But I wanted to discuss about why I feel the Jungle movie should be made and how Hey Arnold should have its ending. When I found out about the series in the Jungle movie over the summer, when I rewatched the show, and I was just completely devastated. I was in shock. And when I found out about how and why the Jungle movie was never made, it just even devastated me more. The reason why I feel like, the series should have its ending is just number one, closure between the fans and the characters of the show. The biggest episodes, I believe, in the show were probably the Parents' Day episode and the Journal episode. And growing up as a kid and watching the show, I always wondered, who were Arnold's parents and what happened to them. And when they finally did the episode, Parents' Day episode and the Journal episode, it was just like, wow, we finally get to see like what Arnold's parents did for a living and what happened to them and why are they not in his life as a kid. And the Journal episode, the way it ended, is just such a complete shock. The feeling that I got when I watched the last episode, it was just, I can't even explain the feeling that I got, actually. Hey Arnold needs that closure, and it just needs that ending, and it's just an amazing series, needs an amazing ending, and I feel that the Jungle movie would have been it if it was made. Number two is just, Hey Arnold is just, Arnold, the character Arnold, I should say, is such a good role model for kids to look up to. Kids today can now watch the show on the 90s or All That on T-Nick. And Hey Arnold, along with the other shows that they show on the 90s block, can watch them and get the good message that we got when we watched these shows as a kid. And my niece is actually watching Hey Arnold, and she absolutely loves it. And my niece is 3 years old, and she comes over and she watches the show with me. Even though she doesn't really know what the show is about, she knows who Arnold is. And she's like, every time she comes over, she points to this and she's like, I want to watch Arnold. I want to watch this. And we watch it together, and she absolutely loves it. So I'm just going to leave you guys with this note. Hey Arnold really deserves its ending because it's an amazing show that was watched by kids all over the world, and kids, I should say adults now, still love it to this day. And it's not just a show for just kids to watch. Your whole entire family can watch it and relate to it. And I really hope that one day Nick will consider giving the series the ending that it deserves. And that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna leave you with that. Bye.